Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, knock, knock, knock. And let's take a look. What do these tea leaves have to say? All right. So, the card that we have for tonight, and every reading, I pull a card. It kind of helps me figure out like what zone of thinking this might be in, what are some of the themes, maybe somewhere to focus in on. And so we have the Seven of Cups, and within the Thoth deck, that is related to debauchery, right? All right, so this is a card of a kind of sleepy, longing nature, being a little bit impulsive, going for that thing that is short-lived pleasure, and then it kind of just dissolves. And during that dissolution, there's kind of those icky feelings that linger. To me, it kind of reminds me of like a hangover, something like that. Or maybe a quick relationship that, just at the end of it felt really kind of gross. Okay. All right. So I want to start with, we have right here. What do you think that looks like? I think it looks like a rooster with the body and the head and that silly tail that those roosters have. And what does a rooster mean? It's a wake-up call. Yeah. Cock-a-doodle-doo, right? Wake up. So we have something going on, and the universe is kind of saying, hey, I'm snapping my fingers at you. It's time to wake up. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something, some kind of choices you've made, somebody who's been in your life recently. Up here, I'm seeing two figures. So I'm thinking this is somebody who, is around. Are you good friends with them? Are you having a relationship with them? Whatever it is, there's this need for a wake up. Now, I am seeing up here, we have a person with their hand extended. This person is holding on to them. And it looks like with their head here, and then it almost seems like it's like the subconscious is pulling you away. It's drifting. Okay. And this kind of sense of, oh, watch out, look behind you. There's kind of this snake in the grass energy. And we have the serpent right here. Okay. So here's the thing. I think that this person who's in your life, they have this kind of lovely personality. They're very inviting. They're probably well liked by others. You probably like them to some degree, right? They might be really charming, personable, just like a really involved person, okay? But the reality is that they are quite foul in their personal life, okay? This is a person who kind of goes about their business in, the communal world, small talking and being sweet and bringing the baked goods or, whatever it is, showing up for all the things, remembering to call and hey, that's, that's really nice. But there's something about them. Like they're a little bit more competitive. They're maybe like one of those people, they're like a one-upper. They always have to be right. They always have to know a little bit more, or whatever they're going through is a little bit worse than whoever is sharing with them. Just like one of those people. They always want to be the one that is getting the attention. If it's positive, if it's sympathetic, or if it's negative attention, they don't care. Okay? And they don't mind, kind of really squashing other people along the way. But they won't do it in a way that makes people think, oh, that's like a really, crappy person. That's not nice. That's not very thoughtful. Well, this, they will, they'll do it more covertly, right? They'll make you think that you're the one that's wrong, and you're, higher thinking and saying, hey, this person, something's up with them. There's something going on. This doesn't feel right. The thing I think is this is that wake-up call. Something has happened, I think, that is really kind of affecting your psyche, your emotions, your intuition is really like the radar is going beep, 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 really going off. They're really not fooling you anymore. And here's the thing. I think that this really kind of annoys them, or will annoy them, because they kind of almost seem to get an enjoyment out of fooling people. They kind of like this, being one way and then completely different. Which, listen, we're all different people in different situations to some degree, right? We all have our kind of slightly different personas for different places. And then when you go home and you relax and maybe you do a cuss, or, you talk to your spouse about, oh gosh, can you even believe this, or whatever, we can be a little bit different, right, than the way that we present ourselves to others. We all love somebody who's authentic all the time. At least we perceive them to be, because it's disarming and it feels comfortable to be around somebody like that. But the reality is very few people are. And honest to God, the older I get, the more I really appreciate people who, to some degree, can just be easy to, do the little small, oh, how you doing? How's the weather? Okay, cool. But, we come to certain places, like here, I like that we can be open and honest about everything. But, when you're standing in the line at the grocery store, half zoned out, you don't need somebody to be telling you about, all of their passions and their political alignments and, what they think of this and that. I'm sorry, but my mind is basically turned off at that point. So, I will campaign a bit for, some of these moments where we are just kind of playing our little bit of a role in the community or in our little collective tribe, right? Not everybody needs to know everything about us. So, but this is different. This is somebody who almost seems a little bit predatory, but it's not like predatory necessarily. They just seem to be a mean-spirited person, I guess. And so anyways, I think the universe is telling you, watch out. You know, for some reason, it seems like they're really coming up from the back. They might bite your foot there. So if this is somebody you work with, if this is somebody who maybe is like a, you know, a fellow parent in the school system, this is where I'm like, you know, I hear a lot of stories from my mom's groups and things. And so I'm always like, okay. But, you know, something, family members, somebody you kind of hang out with a little bit here and there. We kind of all know this person. We've all met these people. And, you know, the thing truly is, in my perspective, if they're not coming for me directly, right? Or at least it's not like super intense. It's not really bothering me in a big way. You know, most of the time I can have just some deep compassion, empathy for this type of person, because it must be so very lonely to live your life thinking that you have to compete for silly scraps of stuff, like attention, like from people who cares, you know. If you put all of that energy that you do into you know, vying for pick me, let me be the one, you know, they could probably like do something pretty cool. They could be probably very talented and likable just based on their, you know, regular being, right? So, you know, I think it's just, you have to kind of dodge it, but also think, this is not about me. This is a thing for them. This is something that something has aligned in such a way that this is how their personality has kind of been put together. And that sucks for them, you know, I mean, really. So the best thing you can do really is dodge this kind of thing. I see right up here, this X, like, yeah, I'll put it this, there, X. Stay out of here. Stay away from it, from that energy. Okay, so now I want to look this way. And here we have a 4. And it looks like a 4 and a 7. Okay, so 47. If that means anything to you, that is in the bull. This is in the physical realm. So this is probably a number that will come up for some reason. If you have any relationship to it, let me know in the comments. We also have a 7 and a 7. Okay, so, oh, and another 7 there. So we have 777 and 47. These might be important numbers. I don't know. I'm not sure. It doesn't really show me what they are exactly. And then here, this rooster turns into a little dog. Okay, and, you know, I'm just thinking, well, and I was just thinking about, it almost feels like a dog from your childhood, like somebody, maybe it was your family dog or like your grandparents' dog. And I don't know why, but it's just coming up. It almost seems like it was a dog that was kind of very sweet, but only liked one person. It was kind of like it would snap at you kind of dog. And I almost wonder if this, and this is odd, but this is like a blockage you have about having a relationship with a dog. Like you just think of them as like this was that foundational kind of interaction with a dog where it was like, ugh, these things, you know. But I think it was almost like, it reminds me of maybe like an older person's dog who doesn't necessarily like, it's not around younger children very often, or maybe even very many people at all. and not very socialized. So it was just kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, a little terror of a dog. But whoever's dog it was, they loved it very much. And everybody just kind of put up with it because they loved the dog so much. And I don't know. That's a memory that's just kind of coming up here. Let's see. I want to look. I'm just kind of looking at this one. It almost looks like a person with their arms up in the air. It almost is just like, I give up. I just really think this has to do with this other person from before. And I feel like it's just kind of this feeling of like, I'm not going to indulge this at all. I'm done with it. And then, but also, I see, it almost looks like a little party coming up because we have a person here, okay? And if you can see that, it looks like they have a little robe on with like the long sleeves. Then we have one here. It looks like they're almost like blowing a horn, like it's the beginning of something. And then we have this person with the arms up. We have another person standing here kind of with their arms up as well. And then this person kind of leaning over like they're grabbing for something. And it's almost like, it seems like a grouping of people, but I almost feel like it's just the same person going through all of these different emotions. Like kind of just like cycling through different postures of how do I deal with it, trying to figure out like how do I deal with this. So I can kind of see that you are kind of you don't know, you're not sure, how do I go about this, ultimately I think that a lot of it is just going to come down to what is going to be the least the least difficult way. Is it just going to be avoiding the person? I mean, ultimately, I don't know that there needs to even be a confrontation for this unless they've done something truly, terrible. But I think, my personal move most of the time is just to kind of bow out of the situation, and do I'm very busy. All the time, very busy, which is true. But so if anybody I know and love is watching this, I am actually busy, I promise you. I'm not just lying. But that's usually the best way to get out of it. I'm just so busy, I don't know what to tell you. I can't even figure out when to do things for myself. Then we also have a 3 and a 1, so 31. That's an important number too. So we had a lot of numbers in this one. 777. We had 31 and 47. So maybe you can go play. Is that enough to play the lottery? I don't know. But if it is, then go do it. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so interesting. It almost seems like there's some kind of like road construction going on near you that is really just such a bother. Maybe there's like a detour or loud noise. It seems like it's been really just something giving you some anxiety, but I think it'll be done soon. I also see this little bird. It looks like it's very peaceful. It's kind of like a little songbird here. So I really think, I get this vision of just kind of like a serenity in the area, kind of like setting in, things getting moving once more. This is going to be better as we get deeper into the season. And I think that you will find that there's less of this anxiety. There's just kind of this sense of a little bit of dread, maybe a little bit of unrest, and just needing to get a good deep breath, And so something that maybe will be helpful is thinking about doing something like shoulder rolling, right? And breathing, doing some breathing exercises while you're kind of rolling your shoulders, you know, carefully rolling your neck. Don't like go cracking it and all that stuff. I'm not giving you that advice. Don't do that. Just kind of, you know, within your physical, you know, ability limitations, whatever, be mindful of that. But also while you're doing some of this kind of, you know, stretching, soft, you know, repetitive movements, breathing and mindfulness, trying to, you know, notice how your body feels, let go of some of that stress, you know, let your stop tensing up if you can, and just, you know, for a few, trying it a couple times a day at least, just to stop and think, you know, okay, this is the time for my little mindfulness shoulder rolls, and I'm going to do that as soon as I turn this off. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So anyways, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and that is helping us grow this channel. We have just now surpassed the 11K, so that's awesome. And if you would be so kind as to maybe share the video, that helps with the engagement as well. You can leave a comment. I love to read each and every one of them. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get back, maybe a day, but that's just because it's been literally, and I'm not saying this to like I'm not lying about this. I am busy. It's been busy. We have had so much stuff going on, you know, with the garden and our daughter, my husband, you know, his channel as well, and the house. My goodness, never ending chores, I'll tell you what. So it's just, you know, it's busy, but we make it work, and we're very thankful. And so other than that, if you want to subscribe, please think about doing that too. Hit the little bell so you know when the next videos are going to come out. Yeah, okay, well, thank you, and we will talk again very soon.